Hey everyone, this is Louis7, and today we are sailing to Umbar. It is the launch of the Corsairs of Umbar expansion. I'm actually playing closer to launch time than usual, but I do have, as a heads up, a hard limit of 3 o'clock today. Usually I am at work at this time, but today it worked out that I don't have to actually be physically present for anything until later. Now, I am doing things a bit different with this expansion launch, so we might get to questing later, but I am actually planning to focus more on just exploring and poking my head around Umbar and seeing what all we have new with like the different reputation factions, allegiances, missions, delvings. I don't know featured instances, but just different things like that. Now, if you all caught my preparation stream for the Umbar expansion, and then you probably saw, at least for the second part, the first part I did get not my Corsair, but my Mariner character ready. But for my Warden, what I did is I filled up my quest log with completed quests. I actually do have a full quest log, but they're not all completed and they're not all missions. Some of them are the Return to Carndoom instances. Also, I will use accelerated XP, but I might wait until I'm higher level. We will see with that, but I think I want to get through these quests first, but I have a really special item here, and it is a 200% XP boost, so we're going to use that and really just see how high level we can get. So the big benefit of being high level is to be able to explore and go through the landscape and not be under leveled. It's very unusual for me and something new that I'm trying with this expansion, but that is a little bit on why I am doing that, even though the vast majority of the content is going to be the questing and leveling. That is something I'm just gonna push to the side and save for later. So we'll have 1 hour. We gotta try to get to level 150 in 1 hour. Let's go. That was not much XP, to be honest. I was hoping for a little bit more. This is gonna be very slow if I get this little XP from each of these quests, but maybe that's okay. I'm hoping it's just these Return to Carndoom quests that are this bad, actually. But yes, that does mean that I might have to run some sort of instances or missions, can scale stuff to 150, see what rewards you get. So there are some interesting things I can do below the level cap that is related to still discovering Umbar content without just questing, which again I'm saving for later and could potentially get to today, depending how long we spend really exploring and the such. Okay, I actually don't know if I turn in every quest, but it looks like it. I thought I had more to turn in, to be honest, but I don't even remember how many I've turned in at this point. Let me just double check. Yes, that is everything. Okay, let's get going. I think, I used to know the exact steps of travel, but I think we're doing, sure, Accra Zahar. No idea what that means, but I think that's Erebor. So we should have Erebor missions ready to turn in here. But did want to say hello to Ben. It is happy lunch day. And Stands in the Fire. And Mon Adnock Acres. Alright, we should have 10 quests ready to turn in here. And let's see, that is still not much XP gain, but it's somewhat decent. I might end up using a lot of these accelerated or enhanced XP supplies, but again, I wanted to wait until a little bit higher level, especially after seeing this XP gain. Actually, I might go ahead and do it. I'll go ahead and use Destiny, and then we'll get double the XP we were getting before. So now we're getting 2.5 million per turn in, and before that it would have been 1.2, so it does double the already 200% boosted. And we're level 141. 141 is a very important level. I'm actually going to do this right away, but we can reforge our LIs. This is an old one that I don't care about, that I literally made just for a video and wasted resources just for a video. But with this LI, we can reforge it. And that's the one I actually have equipped. So now it's 515 item level. I meant to check the stats before and after, but well, we can do that with another character. So we have that, and now we can open all our like LI reward boxes and the such, and they should all be scaled correctly to level 141. Also, I do just want to confirm real quick while I'm thinking about scaling. Embers of Enchantment were not converted. There's some brief concern I saw about them potentially actually being converted, but which I think they should be, which might sound odd because I love. Yeah, this does not give much blue bar XP, but I think this is, if there's any time for me to use all 49 of these, it is now. Hello, Alex. It is good to be streaming again. It's been like...
What news do you bring?
When did I last stream? 2 days ago? I've already forgotten at this point. But yeah, we've already gone through quite a bit of quests, and I'm not even close to level 150. So...
Service and your families.
I'm not very confident on our strategy at this point. But I think we'll go to Trestle Bridge and then War of Three Peaks for the next 2 mission turn-ins. I don't have many at Trestle Bridge. I think I just have 1. Oh, your ASD. You said your launcher keeps crashing 88% of patching data files. Hopefully that fixes itself. For me, it was a pretty slow patch, but it did eventually work. Downtime maintenance got done early. So I pretty much, as soon as I finished eating lunch, started this stream. I think we're going to end at curfew. I could open my Hobbit gifts, but maybe it's better to wait till level 150 for that, so I will wait. Also, okay, I don't think I need to do any of those. We could potentially do missions for XP if I do need to level up, but again, I'd rather see what maybe Umbar missions there are if we do that. I think that would be the move to do new content. Maybe some form of resource instances. Somebody else is doing this, I think. Yeah, maybe some other form of resource instances will be unlocked that we can do below the level cap, but that's not too likely. I would love to see that, but I've never used so many of these. This is kind of interesting. I've just like stocked up on them. I haven't spent any. Ooh, on a mission weekly. We get motes of enchantment because we're not at the level cap anymore. But character boosts, that's what we want. Although I'd be interested in what the crafting materials have. I'm greedy for character boosts because guess what? Oh, that's a double XP. I thought it was an enhanced XP supply. That might have been a mistake. I would have actually rathered crafting, I think. Oops, my bad. I do want to pay attention because I see I'm getting virtue level up, so I should probably switch back to loyalty. Assuming that's still good with the stat revamp. That is honest concern that it might not be. But it should be. I'll just bank on the should be. Hey, we're 30% of the way there. I really should have used enhanced XP supplies from the start, but I might run out, so it might not matter anyway. Hey, Tales for the Trails, I recognize I can. I might have played with them before. Where are we going now? I actually have no idea. Because I did not do... Oh, Before the Shadow, there are a ton of ones in Before the Shadow, okay. Maybe I'll turn those in after Rivendell. I want to go ahead and get Rivendell out of the way. Oh, they refuse to take your payment, Jacob? That's not good for them. Seems like that would be a top priority. Let the people pay you. I honestly don't remember the star amount from the 15th anniversary, but yeah, some of that stuff is sometimes at... Wow, this was a complete fail and waste of time. There we go. So favorite thing about LOTRO, it's evolved over the years, but I just enjoy playing in the world of Middle Earth. I like questing in the game and doing group content. So I enjoy a variety of like content things, but I really like a lot of the overall ideas with the class designs. I know some of them I tend to complain about, especially particular aspects of them, but I do really enjoy the variety of classes, like the variety of roles as well, their support, which is present in some other games, but it's fairly unique. Okay, I think I'm really thinking at this point I should save my enhanced XP supplies. Oh, did I never do chapter 10? Wait, do I have to turn that in at Bilbo? Wow. And landscape world building is a great aspect of LOTRO as well. Okay, I believe Bilbo is hopefully in his room, unless he got lost in a certain location that I won't spoil in case you haven't done these before. That's Frodo. Oh yeah, no, he's not here. I know where he is. That's why you never know he's lost. He's always not in his room anyway. Oh yeah, no loading screen here. There he is.
Oh, good day.
Definitely worth it. Okay, so now we need to go to Before the Shadow, I believe. And I should have a port to most of the locations, so we can start with Andrath, I suppose. Hello, Ad Astra from Poland. I suppose this is a better start time to my stream than typical for Europe, EU, time zone viewers. Alright, we should have missions person appearing here soon. I find it so funny how many people are here. I didn't know this was a thing that so many people actually did. Do we want 30? Yeah, let's see, it's one that gives almost a bar. So that would be a little bit over 5 per level. I think we'd be stretching it, but I'll continue using these at least for now. I'll go down until I'm at like, I don't know, 20 or something. I feel like I'm doing something wrong, like I'm cheating. Doing all this. Alright, 17 seemed like a better number.
What can I do for you?
I wonder if I'll complete... Wow, level 145. Halfway there.
How can I be of service?
How can I be of service?
We do not want swift travel, because I can save money, and that's much more important than saving time, right? Saving money. It might also save me time. Yes, Corsairs of Umbar is out now, which clearly explains why I'm doing nothing related to the new expansion content, but soon. The whole point, again, of doing this leveling for anybody that missed it is so I can explore the landscape and focus more on that today instead of what I typically do with an expansion is I actually play through it. That's like the obvious thing to do with an expansion, and the vast majority of the Umbar content is going to be the questing and leveling experience, but I want to just like discover basically what's going on with crafting, what's going on with the allegiances, reputation, missions, all that sort of stuff that it's much easier to do when you're higher level because you can roam around the landscape without danger. And if you're at the level cap, you can see what sort of in-game content they have and what systems. I'm really interested to see what is all new there, especially considering the little bit I poked around in beta. It honestly wasn't much, but at the surface level, so much stuff was very unfinished and unrefined looking in the beta compared to what at least I would expect for a finished product. So that's what I'm also really excited to see, is what is maybe different than the beta and hopefully more finished. The new zones are probably fairly full of players. I honestly don't know this time of day because it's in the middle of like US times at least. Workday, and I'm on a US NA server. So it looks like 12. It looks like there are only 200 something on, which is not that much for non-anonymous. So I'd expect population to really peak up later in the day, like when I would more typically be starting my expansion experience.
What have we to say to each other?
Kleeger, I believe that's where we need to go. I'm doing pretty good though, considering that I expected to not get nearly as many things done in my preparation stream as I did get done, I feel very good about this character at least being halfway there. That was kind of my goal before I did that prep stream for the Warden. But I'd be really interested in what Fickle Gundu is like, because that one could give you a ton of XP solo. And I'm really curious what that will be. So I might try that one, but again, I do want to at least very, very quick exploration. I'm already about 15 minutes into my XP boost. So that is something to just be aware of. I want to take full advantage of that. I'm also getting reward track progress. I meant to check that actually before the stream started. I'm like level 41. I don't know what I was at the start of the stream. Where's the missions in PC? There he is. Okay, I got him. Ervo Kirch. Oh, only 4 here? That's okay. I was kind of hoping I did have a little bit more, to be honest. It looks like I might have perfectly 45 missions. Because I think those were... Okay, let's get crafting materials now. Or Nah, crafting. I don't care about LI stuff. Crafting materials? Minor Crafting Guild. Alright. That has Woodworkers Guild, so nothing Umbar Guild hinting at related. Crafting materials. This does include through Umbar tier, so we could do that. And then specialty crafting materials. Rare crafting component selection box. And Red Sea Stone. We can get a head start in Umbar crafting from all this. I could have 2 head starts if I bother to select the correct thing from the first missions weekly. See, we're at Umbar related content. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and open that just to get my Red Sea Stone. There we go. It went into a crafting carry so we can't see that. But speaking of crafting, Umbar tier, Umbari boards and leather and wood and all the such. For just a base, I have done absolutely nothing with crafting in the Umbar tier. This is what I get just for simply having the Umbar tier exist and being completed with Gundabad. So I can make Captain Crest. Okay, that's pretty normal, I think. I can make Champion Horns. I can make an Essence box already. I can make Minstrel Instruments, and they just require boards, so they're oh, they actually have 2 Essence slots even. They're item level 503 and they're level 141. I can make, I can process stuff. I can do Runekeeper parchments. I can do Warden carvings. These are like the Minstrel Instruments. It looks like level 141 as well. They have Vitality and then 2 secondary stats, it looks like, depending on which one you go with. You can make weapons. Oh, that's such a shock to see. You can actually just make stuff. It's so weird. And it's so nice to see. You can... It sounds crazy that it is crazy that you can make stuff. It shouldn't be crazy, but that's how neglected crafting has felt for the longest while. So yeah, that's nice to see that you can actually make stuff. And then Warden Battle Hymns, which last I heard those don't actually work, but maybe they do. That looks to be it. I thought you were supposed to be able to do Mariner Instruments as well, but I don't see any of that. I just see Minstrel Instruments. It says Mariner requires class requires class Minstrel. Sorry, no Mariner listed. Just no, that one is Mariner. I thought I misread it. It said Minstrel. It's okay. It's listed here in Minstrel Instruments category, but you can craft your Mariner instrument here. That's what I'm trying to say. Just to set the record straight. So I'm super excited for crafting. That might be, honestly, of everything Umbar related, I might be most excited for crafting. Especially if they do not have single use recipes, one-time use recipes. If they do not have those, then this will be like the best tier of crafting in all of LOTRO by far. If they do have those, I don't know if I'd quite call it an instant fail, but I want to call the crafting revamp an instant fail. But it's not that the changes are an instant fail. It's just that that's a bad part of crafting. So I don't think that'd be fair. But that's it's my least favorite part of crafting, essentially, is the one-time use recipes. They just drive me a bit crazy. Okay, so quest-wise, I have cleaned my quest log and we have to get tons of XP. But before we do that, I'm probably going to be spending Mythro coins and traveling because we have Umbar and... Ooh, this looks nice on the collections map. But we have Umbar and the Shield Isles here. We have King's Gondor and all that sort of stuff. David, thank you for joining the stream. I don't know if I would stream anything if nobody actually watched. But yeah. Let's find a stable master and head west and sail to Umbar. That's again the advantage of not just questing, is I can sail to Umbar. That's literally one of the big things with the exploration, is that I don't really have to worry about that. That said, I do have to spend Mythro coins, but I have plenty of them. I guess y'all can't see that all that well. I'm trying to be aware that I have the chat blocking a portion of the screen, but last time I did any poll map, people preferred to have the chat on screen. Y'all can let me know if that's still the case. Now, as far as ports go, I would expect Dol Amroth to have one, but it does not look like it. But they do have... Interesting. They do have that. I want to check out that vendor. So let's just go to Dol Amroth New. There is no Dol Amroth New. Oh, I should have unlocked these travels. Like, there's a lot of things I should have done in prep that I did not do. It was busy digging holes in Moria. But yeah, that's one that I should have done. And yes, the zone, I don't know if it's quite jam-packed with players, but I've run into more than I've run into in the past bit. Okay, so this one should connect west in Dol Amroth, yep. Hello, Rocker? You said, good to see you on the new expansion and keep up the good work. You learned so much from my videos. Glad you've learned so much. Even presumably being from France, not having English as your first language. I know maybe a couple words in French, like oui. Is coup de grace, is that a French thing? Like that burglar skill? Wait, there's reputation. Dol Amroth is looking pretty nice, I gotta admit. I'm not a big fan of Gondorian architecture like this, but I don't know, it's looking pretty nice right now. Okay, so there. Wow, I already have 2 of these. Mark of Renewal. I assumed that those were new because I don't remember running into those, but it looks like you can get, wow, you can get muster in all these places and then the new sailing ones. So it looks like the Renewal of Gondor Reputation, you can get essence boxes and a whole bunch of cosmetics. I don't know what of these cosmetics are new. Maybe some of these were already in game, but I really did basically nothing, to be honest, with the new zone outside of the quests on Luiner. The Mariner. Last Blow, that's actually a very fitting name. That's basically what coup de grace is in LOTRO. I might have done like the very intro Song of Waves and Wind intro quest. Like I might have done the very first chapter of the first book. Okay, I have not run into an allegiance. I actually forget how to bring up the allegiance panel. I think normally on a character I will move it here. There is a way to do that. Actually, is it... Anyway, yeah, I don't know. There is Ledge Keepers and Order of the Eagle. So this one is would-be enemies of the heirs of Castamere, those people that were super annoying. It made the first part of the story. The Order of the Eagle sounds more appealing just based on name. We can read the description later. Okay, you don't actually have to pick just one. I didn't think you would, but you never know. Any AP you gain will be funneled only to your active allegiance. Are you sure you want to set this? Yes. Track? Oh, don't like that. I don't know why, but I've never liked that bit of UI. I don't know if that's where we're headed, but I just thought I'd see it. Okay, Armory of Dol Amroth. I was told by the map there would be vendors here. Oh, this is a skirmish camp? Well... Let's see if they updated this for 150. Nope. 105. Sounds about right. Okay, oh, there are crafting things here. Maybe we should check those out. Oh, dragging the ally menu horizontal. Great idea. Are you all ready for this? Wow. Oh my, that really goes horizontal. I don't know if it needs to be that wide, but it's better than before. How about, did they improve the tooltips at all? That's kind of what I'm curious too. No, tooltips look the same, but I kind of like that. I like it better than just not having any option to scroll it, especially when some of the effects start taking up multiple lines like that. That's where I notice the big improvements. But there's still a lot of empty space and a lot of mithril coin buttons that take up excess space is how I would end up describing it. Be nice if you could set it to be like 2 or 3 columns. That would be a big help with the verticality of it. Okay, javelin. Yeah, I don't need to really bother with these right now, but that is what that looks like. But I think we'll head to the crafting facilities, and then I gotta build up suspense before we actually sail to Umbar. But I do want to check out the crafting facilities and maybe, I don't know, just explore around Dol Amroth, see if I even notice anything new. Speaking of noticing anything new, though, maybe we can test this here in the busy city. There is for DX10 Shadows a graphics upgrade, so very high is the new option. It did not default me to that. Do we notice a difference with any sort of shadows or anything? Maybe right there. That's kind of where I'm looking, in that area that I might have noticed a little difference in lighting. Okay, I don't really notice much of anything. Maybe y'all can notice something, but I am not really seeing anything here. I would expect where we can see landscape better, we'll notice a difference. So I'll go ahead and set that to very high. But this was not the best spot to first think of that. I think the crafting facilities, I don't think I've ever used these before. I didn't even know there was this crafting center here. But we have like a woodworker. Do they have anything interesting for Umbar? Don't see anything at the moment. Supplier probably doesn't have anything. Okay, I don't really see anything for crafting. I was also, yeah, crafting guild. That's maybe something we'll find in Umbar. There are some quests here. 142. We way out leveled those already. Okay, so I think next stop would be, I think, oh, I wonder if I'm not showing. Maybe that's the issue. Dockmaster, there we go. Maybe there is a Dockmaster in Dol Amroth after all. Doesn't look like it, but... Oh, there is, actually, on the outskirts. There's clash trainers. I don't think we need to deal with those. I wouldn't mind going ahead and getting something like Lord Curion just to visit a new zone so we can pick that up. I have not been to the Green Dragon in New Zealand. I also have not been to New Zealand. Anyway. The servers came up a little bit early. They came up, like, what, an hour ago? And I started streaming, what, like half an hour ago? Oh, I have to be careful with my XP boost. We have 30 minutes left on that, so maybe I should try to run something. I really want to get full use of that, so I haven't noticed any missions. Maybe real quick I'll just look at the map and see if I see any missions. I don't even know how you can tell if there's missions. It's like a blue, I think it's the blue banner thing. Ah, right there maybe? No, that's a healer. I did not know healers had blue banners. I thought they were, I don't know, I thought they were something else, but clearly not. Maybe I was getting them mixed up with a bard. I would assume there's new missions, but they haven't advertised missions. Have no idea what those are. They just have coordinates. Oh, Lore Master Trainer and something. Oh, there are, yeah, Lore, I don't know what that is. Umbar is, as far as I can tell, only high-level content, especially because I'm not seeing missions. So, yeah, but naturally, with the Umbar expansion, first bit of combat I'm going to do is in Thickle Gundu, and we're going to try level 148, because I don't know why not. Also, I have landscape difficulty turned on, I think. No, I did turn that off. Wow. Okay, actually, I did something useful in preparation, not even knowing it. It's also a great chance that my character is very weak. I have not made him OP with allies yet. But yeah, I think I can... Oh, I guess 146 Reforge isn't unlocked yet. Yeah, because we're at 515 item level. I hope y'all don't mind me doing this. It wasn't quite intended that I would have to spend this much time leveling up, but I really do want to take advantage of that XP boost. Maybe I should switch blue line to be safe here. Okay, these dwarf NPCs, as long as I can stay near them, the buff should keep me nice and healthy, and I should be able to just do anything I want in here. But the big benefit of running this particular instance, if anybody is curious, like why I would do this instead of missions, is because you get a ton of XP. That's the sort of reality of this, is that you get a ton of XP from all these juicy orcs. Should see my XP bar going up and progressing quite a bit, hopefully. I'm killing these things pretty fast, so I'm pretty happy with that. Maybe we can try to get one run in real quick. It's been a while since I've done it, so I am a bit out of practice of the most efficient ways to do this. And if I didn't say so, hello, the soccer doing well today. Okay, I believe that is everyone. Probably should have pulled them from the start, but I was honestly a little bit scared that I might die. And I'm getting so much lag right now. Look, the servers weren't ready for somebody to randomly go to Thickle Gundu and fight Gundu bad orcs. They're expecting everybody to do the new expansion content for some reason. Also, I'm in range stance, so maybe it's not all lag. Maybe it's that I'm in range stance and I didn't even know that. Look how much XP I've gotten, though, just from that. It is really good. And now we're gonna have Bars, or whatever his name is. There he is. Arkasht. We're gonna have him come here and try to wipe us out, as we're definitely getting lag now. Oh, I'm still in blue line. I should have switched to red line for this fight. Oh well. We'll be fine. Alright, let's see if my finisher is strong enough in this spec. Almost! That was actually pretty good. That was about perfect. I guess I'll take the time to loot the chest, even if I don't want to. Maybe we'll get something relevant for our higher level? Not really. In a group, if you could handle Sword Hall's tier 2, I imagine, and do the challenge at that level cap, I mean specifically, I imagine that would be faster than this. But it really is hard to beat Thickle Gundu solo for fast leveling, especially if you're close to level 120, because then the dwarves are actually useful besides the buff that they give you. Like, they'll actually do respectable damage. But because the mobs are, in this case, 28 levels above the dwarves levels, they don't do that much. Armored dwarf fight, I think that's the one I need to take out here. Actually don't mind triggering these because I'll get XP from them. I should try to actually pull the dwarf whites though away from the friendly dwarves. And then hopefully we can hit everything. That's my big goal here. I just want to get aggro on everything so that the dwarves don't lag behind and everything follows me, including the dwarves. Although it looks like, yes, some of them taunt. I kind of forgot about that. But the big thing is I have to keep up the Among the Renowned buff because that is what makes me OP. And let's make it through this. Taking the Warden to explore Umbar, he's going to be the first one that I get to the level cap probably, but I will be questing in Umbar on my Mariner. I also don't see the OP dwarf buff, so I must be outside of their range. As long as Never Surrender does not leave me, what am I trying to say, expire, then I should be fine. Okay, it triggered. That's the biggest thing with Never Surrender. If you use it too early, you kind of get yourself messed up. I also don't see every dwarf. Maybe they died. Well, that's not good, because actually, I really could use their healing right about now. There we go. Hey, level up, perfect. There's so much lag going on right here. My character's skipping all over the place too. Sometimes it's fun to just beat up on orcs. I can get myself warmed up. I don't know if I'm up for the challenge of Umbar. I'm gonna try to think of every excuse I can think of for my bad behavior ways of not questing and power leveling. Wait, I said beating up on orcs. We were mostly fighting dwarf whites there, I think. Maybe some orcs. Alright, that should be everything? Yes, okay. We can move on. I am running out of bonus XP, so I definitely want to keep that up. And I'm probably going to be running into issues with the dwarf whites again, and fell spirits that come out of them, so I'm gonna press a bunch of wrong buttons. Yeah, I don't have the inspiration buff. I might need to dismiss and resummon these dwarves somehow. I don't know if that's fully possible, but I am not actually getting the buff that is supposed to make me OP even with this group, so even with them here. But fortunately I'm in tank spec and can still just manage all this somehow. Even with the Umbar stats and not having gear, all I've done is reforge my LI, but I actually don't even have any new traceries or anything like that. So I'm still at the basically a Gundabad level 140 character, except for the LI game PS that I'm still managing. They still do some useful stuff for me, but again, I'm not getting that really powerful buff. I grow impatient. So Pyro, you said that you bought LOTRO in 2009 and played for 20 minutes. You started playing again 2 weeks ago, but there is no account on your email. Oh. I know for me at least, I would be concerned that it was just on a different email. Although I don't think I've really changed emails, but just being that old, it's something I have seen come up at least. But yes, probably level 5 and didn't really have much progress if you played like 20 minutes. Yeah, maybe this is all I need to use once we get out of combat. I think partially because of the just heavy amount of AoEs is actually one reason I can find this so entertaining, doing Thickle Gundu solo. It's the group version is kind of interesting because I think on higher tiers it gets really annoying just because of how much health things have. It's one of the things that I'm not a big fan of with higher tier instances is the health scaling. The difficulty scaling, of course, you expect that. And that's the part that I am a fan of, but the health scaling is kind of crazy in higher tier instances. And I noticed it caused a lot of issues in this one on top of the actual mechanics of the spirits. The way they work in the group version is that they can incapacitate, not defeat, but like incapacitate essentially one of the players. And the way to get rid of that is to actually stun them. I think, oh, I don't know if we can even get to those yet. We might have to defeat the boss to unlock the room to where that dwarf white is. We'll see if we can find him on this other side here. But yeah, it just makes it very slow is the big thing. It's not just that it's a big instance and it takes a long time, but it's like extra slow progressing through it, which does ultimately make it take more time. But the big thing is the slowness of progression in the higher tier group versions. But on tier 1, it's normally fine, but then it's just like super easy. But the solo version's not too bad because you don't run into that. Let's summon dwarves. There is normally an order that you're supposed to kill these, and if I don't get... Okay, I do have my proper North buff, but I was gonna say if I don't get that, that's something I might have to be a little bit aware of. But I think AoEing everything is pretty good by me. I don't have any mods that improve graphics. Some people use like Reshade, which just is more of a filter for your screen. I think that's the one I didn't use. Okay, what I want to test is how much damage the consumption does. Quite a bit, but I did not mean to use it twice there. That was a total mishit. Alright, that should be good. Let's move on. He does reset at some point, so I have to be a little bit aware of that, but there we go. The walls are shaking. Oh! Wow, they all just like magically traveled here too. Okay, that should cook them pretty nicely. And it looks like he's already targeting the dwarves, and now the dwarves are gonna die, and then I'm gonna have to rescue them, and then I'm not gonna get my OP buffs, and now I don't know where to go. But there's one more part that has great XP in this, and then it slows down quite a bit from there. I don't really think it's worth running the later parts, but yeah, that's something. We spent about half the time on the buff, so we have about 18 minutes left, and I think we started around 30 minutes, so if I get through this part in like 15... Wait, if I get through this part in like 3 or so minutes, that means we could run this one more time if you all want, but I get the feeling people would be more excited to actually see Umbar content. Kind of crazy, I know, but that's just the sense that I get. We're also going to drag everything back. I'm not going to use a heal if I don't have to. Wow, that was really bad. But I wasn't going to use, I meant a cooldown if I don't have to. I have no idea which way I'm going, by the way. This does not look like... Yeah, this is not where I need to go. But hey, I get to hit everything again. I'm just trying to find my dwarves. As useless as they are, their OP buffs save me. Actually, I'll just keep this fight going. I don't think it's worth that. We can maybe try to resummon them here. Yeah, they're gonna keep interrupting me. I think it would have been more efficient if from the get-go I just try to kill everything. Just gotta be careful of puddles. But these puddles, like 4 puddles in LOTRO, I don't find these ones to be too annoying. Don't think this heal is necessary, but we'll use it anyway. And I'll stun them. Yeah, the AoE consumption is not that good, really. It's something, but compared to the single target one, with I think some balance adjustments they've done since I really took a deep dive into that, I haven't played my Warden much lately. It does seem to be a bit worse. But yeah, we got about a level up, maybe a little bit more in 15 minutes, so that is something you could do maybe 2 hours with a 200% XP boost and blue bar level up. I don't know what that rock is, but it makes me think of the one in Bree. I assume there's some significance to that. It looked a little polished, I'll say. But I think to go ahead and move on, we can actually start exploring a little bit more here. I think I mentioned that I wanted to go to not Calimbel, but I want to go to K. It started with a C. Oh, Lord, carry on. Never mind. There was a C in it, to be fair. Although I don't think that's here either. Oh, here it is. Anthelus. Stone of Eric. I feel like I should know what that is, but I do not. Oh, they're comparing the yellow. Wait, the yellow 141 is worse than the teal 140 essence. That seems okay to me. It's not much of a difference between the two. But you don't have to have the stat jump be super crazy from level 140 to 141. In fact, I consider it's better that there's not a crazy jump. I don't know if there is. If it follows the previous LOTRO expansions, we'll just double in stats and be super annoying. If y'all cannot tell, I'm not a fan of that. I talked about it in a recent video. I think it was a kind of random one with my captain. But from this location, we can sail to Umbar. And I assume if there's a bunch of repeatable content such as missions somewhere, it's going to be in Umbar. And I think the best way to get there is to... Wait, there's a port here? What? Oh, it's like an elevator. Interesting, I didn't have to actually jump. I really hope these forges are usable, but they don't look like it. This is a pretty neat town, but I want to go to Umbar. And that's really one of the things that I talked about with this expansion being like, I have concerns for Umbar, whatever that video was called. This is kind of it. I just like, there's so much new stuff in Outer Gondor in this pretty neat port city, but I just don't care about it because I want to go to Umbar.
There's always work to be done.
I don't know if anybody else feels similar, but it's like kind of whatever with the new Gondor stuff. And I want to go to Umbar. That's why I boosted this character essentially to 147, kind of getting to the 148 point. Fruit. Oranges. Pomegranates. Lemons. Onions. I don't know what those are. Those look like tiny, tiny onions. I don't think they look like garlics. Might be some other thing that I'm just not familiar with too. I don't know if there's really anything interesting in this place. I don't care about these things, those I do care about, but I guess tasks I could turn in tasks. I totally forgot about that. That's something we can do for XP. So there's crafting facilities here. Oh, I do want to see traders. I don't need to see regular... Yeah, the healer here is turning up green. I don't know why I was turning up blue in another one. Healer and provisioner, supplier. Okay, so I don't see anything on the shield aisles that we really need to have a deep dive into. So we can just take a travel to Umbar. Scallions, maybe. I'm not too familiar with scallions. We got some good ugly bushes here. First thing we see in Umbar, we got some fancy new waves that look very different than beta. Also, the water has a much better texture than it did in beta. Pretty nice looking. You can see the shield aisles way off in the distance. If we turn off ambient light, it should actually get really dark. Well, somewhat dark. It still has a little bit of a glow. And we can also check if we notice any difference with the new graphic setting. So this is what it used to look like on high. Not seeing much of anything way down there. That's where at least I anticipate most of the changes being in the distance, but I'm not really seeing anything, to be honest. I am on Landreval. Don't know what the status. It looks like we already have 100 more people than we did like a few minutes ago when we checked. Quests here are level... I could actually consider doing this, but it looks like they're 147. Hopefully that's not... Oh, wow. They have a Harad map now. Umbar. Bar Harad. This is actually really neat. Harondor? Gondor? Oh, you can't click Harondor because they don't let you go to Herodway. Oh, they do on the big map. Wow. I can't believe I'm just seeing this now. I have a giant desert down here. Some of those areas look kind of like, I imagine, salt flats. Jungles. Oh, are these the coastal mountains that one of the dwarf... I want to call them tribes, but like one of the dwarf peoples are from? So we got Cape of Umbar. It makes you click Umbar Barhabel, but Cape of Umbar. And then presumably we'll go out more into Harad. That's pretty neat. So we got Stable Master. I'll go ahead and make my milestone here. I have no idea where we are, but we're in... Oh, we're not in Umbar. Let's go to Umbar. Or the Umbar city, I mean. Umbar proper. That one looks good. Alright, here is Umbar. I do want to check out the City of Umbar rewards. That very suspicious healer. I want to check out housing furnisher, maybe. But I would like to explore a little bit Umbar and maybe see if there are missions, but it's not looking like it. What do we got here? Don't see anything that I would have. I imagine that I don't have any of those. But I do have a task carry-all. And we can see if I somehow have any of these. Gleaming goo. Nope, we need salty. It's gonna be all salty and sea wash stuff, I think. Yeah, don't say anything. The salt lanes. It's kind of laggy here. I need to see if I can fix that. Maybe that will help. Not really. Actually, maybe a little bit. Increasing the CPU priority for LOTRO still seems like it can help sometimes. I'm actually curious. I imagine my GPU, yeah, not being utilized much. Mainly my CPU. I really want to ride my war steed, but I've been a little bit too hasty today. I need to slow down. But I'm also thinking for my Runekeeper, I'd love to do some crafting. Not just to craft this ward and some new gear because I skipped a few levels. But I'm really... Ooh, there's crafting. Forget an old craft profession and learn cook. You know what? We're going to do this. Y'all ready for me to just forget all my farming experience? Like, I've put so much work into farmer, but I've decided I don't care about it anymore, and I want to be a prospector.
Umbar is a free city at last.
Now, I have no... Oh, that changes the order of them. You could actually optimize your experience, I guess, so you could get the specific order you want. Like, if I could change these, Woodworker be at the top and Forester at the bottom left. But with Prospector, we can also test if they actually implemented where you can gather any tier node as a gathering profession. Also, itchy nose, I don't know, do I have a universal toolkit? Oh, I have a Gundabad toolkit. Okay, that'll let me do everything, but if you have like a, whatever woodworker is, I forget what that vocation used to be called, if you have that type of toolkit that's just for those 3 professions, I don't think it would work for Prospector. So I really think this is just Standing Stone Games strategy to sell more universal toolkits and like the new one that I don't have. Shrine of He Who Sees All. Wow, it's so laggy here. There's just so much going. There are so many things here. It's so laggy. Small Gift of so that's going to be allegiance points. AP, as I think they call it. This expansion adds plenty of land in a very laggy Fisher Fold area. Like, my FPS is down in the 20s here. There's just so much stuff. That's gonna be so fun to try to ride my horse steed through here. Let's go through a back alley that's not marked on the map. Please be open here. Alright, whoever the architects of the city are should be fired because that should be open so you can get to the other side. They never thought about navigation. You know, it's probably these people here. I feel like they're the ones to blame. Some may say I should just follow the road, but I disagree. But yes, as far as new land goes, there's quite a lot in Gondor, and then there's the Shield Isles of Umbar and the Cape of Umbar. Wharf Gate. This Wharf Gate's also very on the laggy side. This one's a large gift of Uri. I think the FPS drop is both details and optimization related. Like, if I lowered my graphics settings, I don't think there's anything I have... Oh, there are a couple things I have specially set, but if I lower my graphics settings, like, let's just go to low. I still get... Well, it's chugging a little bit, but it does improve. It actually improves quite a bit, wow. I did not expect that. In the past, there are some areas that get low FPS in LOTRO, but wow, this looks so much worse. But there are some areas that it actually has had basically no difference between low and max, min settings and max settings. But something else, as I'm still getting a little bit of hitching. I don't know how easy it is to tell in the stream, but I'm still getting hitching. Yes, they are transitioning to 64-bit client and phasing 32-bit out. I think the new launcher they're working on is 64-bit, so after that, you shouldn't need 32-bit at all. That carpet or whatever it is kind of floating. Man on errands. Looks like he's on errands. Being very active and busy there. Okay, let's kick things back up. Gotta uncheck DX10 distant landscape lighting. That in my experience greatly worsens graphics. But there is something that we might be able to set here, and maybe it's object draw distance. Okay, that one really helped. It's not perfect, but object draw distance really helped there. I think that one was a big thing in as Inables are as well I was quickly familiar with it. But it's still not perfect. In fact, that look is quite bad, but it does help. Also, we are more on the outskirts than I'd like. Hey, there are some enemies here. I guess the upstart crossbow man. I thought it was like upstart with some faction here. That was their quest. Defeat upstart fighters. Defeat upstart crossbowmen. I want to find what these Umbari Tam can go to. I really feel like I should go in like immersive walk mode. This just seems like a city designed for this rather than the running I'm doing. And that's even me, like, normally I would definitely be on my mount. Okay, we have faction stuff over here. Good, guards let me through. Apamar. She has a replica sword of Tumuldu and a replica sword of Nakasi. I believe Nakasi is one of the kindred coin peoples. And there's a silver donkey. There is also armor for reputation, which is great to see after not having that for a long while that I'm at least remembering. So they have chest piece, pants, gloves. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Chest piece, pants, and gloves. I like the cosmetics here. I do have to admit. Okay, except maybe the heavy armor there. I like the non-heavy armor pieces a bit. And then the rep vendor has essences, a whole bunch of housing stuff. Housing services. Oh, you can summon one of these NPCs. Oh, a dock master? Wait, they offer their services? Like you can go to any of the Umbar docks? And then, yeah, more housing. Except their recipes. Are any of these one-time use? I don't see any of these being one-time use. All they require is Umbar crafting as well. So they bind to account on acquire. So you can't necessarily barter for these with your level 5 crafting alt, but you can barter for them on your high-level character that's gone through the content and then send them to your crafting alt. That is good to see. Again, also good to see, I mean, I don't think it's ever been the case with housing furniture like that it's one-time use, but it is good to see that it's not. And this is where things got scary. This is the first actual gear piece I've looked at, but that's also not one-time use. Good, good, good. Everything looks good so far. We got woodworker, we got some shields and the such. So you do have to get the reputation and the such to barter for the recipes, but again, they're bind to account. They don't require any reputation to actually use them. So everything that I've seen so far is looking pretty good with this crafting tier. I don't know how easy it is to get the Umbari Tam, but it's going to cost a lot of it, it looks like, if you want to get every single recipe for all your array of crafting alts that you have. I don't know, you can craft essences, right? I forget what it takes to make those. Oh, it does require universal solvent and red sea stone. That's kind of unfortunate. It'd be nice if there was like a yellow essence box you could craft for, say, just Umbari boards, for example. I think that's one thing I would definitely like to see. I know you can get at neutral, you can barter for them for the Umbari Tam. Tam, maybe. I don't know if they've added fishing content, but it would make sense if they did. As far as thoughts on the Mariner, I'm kind of conflicted. We're going to see how it is when I finally quest through the Umbar content, but there are certain parts about the Mariner gameplay that just make it not flow well for me. But there are certain parts that I really like. In my experience on landscape content, it just does not have good landscape flow. For the red line in particular, I actually really enjoy the yellow line, but then I don't really use most of the yellow line stuff. And kind of similar with blue line, even that one's not too bad. But I just don't think it has great flow. Again, for me, that's a very subjective thing. So for me, it doesn't have great flow with landscape content. It's a little bit better in group content, but I'm still not the biggest fan of it in group content. It's also, the balance scale seems to be very buggy, where sometimes you actually don't run into issues being too far forward or aftward, which teaches you bad behaviors when you aren't stunned for going too far forward. Okay, so I assume on the southeast side, well, maybe more east side of the city, that it will be the same stuff from the vendor, but let's check. All right, we're upgrading. We're gonna do Warsteed. And we're gonna go full bore here with Dash. I don't think anything could go wrong. We're riding into enemies. Oh, now we're back to Friendly Town. I'd say this is less overrun with enemies than I expected. I honestly expected it to be a little bit more like Minas Morgul and... let's see, Minas Morgul and Osgiliath, but there's a surprising number of friendly NPCs in this area. Like, it's overrun by people who are mostly friendly. Hello, Valeriu? You said that you're a new player here and you're going to... oh, you're starting to like this game very much. Well, hopefully you continue to like this game very much. A lot of these quests only give one Umbar item. That's why I've been very worried about not getting like those recipes requiring so many. But again, I'm getting a very partial picture here. Very much so. Not a full picture. Caught her before she got to the mic again. We need to go northwest. I know I've repeated this a lot, but despite me not doing the questing content today, it really does seem like almost the entirety of the content we have is related to just questing and leveling in these new regions. I'm excited to go out and try to gather prospecting nodes. I'm going to be disappointed if we don't have what we're expecting. So it looks like this is all the same stuff. Yes, yes. City of Umbar rewards, yes. And how about... I don't think she is a healer. Now, is this this is not the same stuff. So this faction, whatever faction it is, the healer faction, maybe that's what it is. They have a helmet. They have shoulder pads, I believe, and then what would it be? Boots? Yes, helmet, shoulder pads, and boots. So they have the other ones. I think we chose Eagle. I don't know if I actually want Eagle, but that is indeed what I chose. We'll see. This guy's reputation, that's all one. Okay. But yeah, as far as missions, I have not seen any, which is kind of surprising. If not a little bit on the disappointing side. I know not everybody likes missions, but I think when they're done right, like with how they were with Before the Shadow, actually, I think those were the best missions they have released overall. They are a great form of just random content you can boot up to play LOTRO level, get some gameplay, and they are perfect for a character like this that is doing, say, non-traditional leveling, unlike what I will be doing with my Mariner. Alright, should be good to turn that way high again. But I've actually done, I guess, a lot of the exploring, because I never did get to level 140, well, 150. But I really want to see if I can track. So I have track wood. I don't have track prospecting nodes. I thought you were supposed to get a combined tracker. That was actually working in the beta, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I think you should get a combined track nodes thing. But I don't seem to have that. I remember seeing that in the beta, I think. If anybody remembers from that, I'd be interested to hear, but there is a node down here. First, we have to defeat our first Umbar mob, and it's gonna be a cow. A desert cow. Okay, that did not do enough damage. I should go to DPS spec, then maybe that would have done enough. Also, he's doing an induction. I don't have an interrupt. It should be fine. It's just a cow. What can a cow do? No match for a boar. Alright, do y'all think I'll be able to gather it? Nope. I had low hopes that that would actually be in game, but it does look like the crafting revamp isn't fully here. We do know that the 4th tier is expected to come later, or the ability to take a 4th profession. We knew that wouldn't be here for launch, but I have not heard about the ability to gather stuff, no matter what your progress is. I also haven't seen anything with guild crafting. That kind of reminds me. Path of Valor, is that one of the new ones? Oh no, that's landscape difficulty stuff. But yeah, that's still a bit on the disappointing side, even if it was on the relatively expected side. Well, I think I can make this character OP still, if y'all are interested in seeing that. Palm branches, logs of Umbari wood, so that's working well. But that does mean for my Mariner, I'm going to want to basically boost him through all the crafting. I have about an hour and a half left, so my initial plan would be to do that. Although this area is really neat. See if they, instead of River Hobbit housing, worked on this the entire time and just waited to release housing with the expansion. This would be the type of housing that I would probably get. It looks pretty neat. It's very different. But I just always see random villages like this in LOTRO that are like, wow, if there was a housing neighborhood there, I would get that. And this just happens to work so well with the expansion instead of the random Lindleby housing that was way so far away from Umbar. But it was related to river hobbits, which are also not the most related to Umbar besides being named river. So presumably they like water. Yeah, that's not doing too well. But yeah, I think I'm gonna open a whole bunch of LI boxes, if that works for you all. If there's anything else you want to just explore on the landscape, I'm perfectly fine to just walk around the area and see where we can go. The world, like the world building, the landscape looks a lot more refined than it did in beta. I at least don't remember it looking quite this full. Unfortunately, it is full of ugly bushes, but yeah, they are pretty ugly. This is the type of area where I could maybe expect them based on the physical geography, but that doesn't mean they're not ugly and I don't like them. Yes, you can open boxes whenever you want, but I would recommend for any non-level locked boxes, even if you're like a level 50 something character, saving them for the level cap. So that would be 141 right now. Unless you find yourself really wanting traceries, I would not open enhancement runes. I don't think those are worth doing at all while leveling at this point. So I think we'll open a ton of LI boxes. Maybe I could do reward track. I got to level 45. Nah, I shouldn't do that on this character. I should do it on a different one. So we're gonna see if it was worth stocking up on all the stuff I stocked up on and never opened. I'm excited. Hey, there's somebody. Don't know who it was. I try to click them. It's so weird that it's at the middle of the day. But yeah, for me, because I'm so excited for the crafting revamp, or just still, even with the disappointment of not being able to gather, I really do think spending a bit of time crafting is not that bad of a thing. And y'all can maybe see the process I do with getting a character ready to craft to gather stuff. That's what I'm going to do with my Mariner. He's going to be a full-time gatherer. He's going to do the 3 what I'd call like true gathering professions, because I don't think there's any random nodes that farmers get just out in the world, because I think there are like berries that you can occasionally pick, but you can do those as any character even without crafting. But there might be some stuff that I've just never run into. It's possible, but not very likely. Oh, I also I don't have resources, but I'd be curious what I can make on my Runekeeper. But okay, if I'm let's do one thing at a time. Let's do allies first. But what was I just thinking? Crafting, gathering. Oh yeah, so for gathering, anyway, for my Mariner, he'll be a Forester, Prospector, and Scholar. So I can gather all 3 of those. My legs are getting tired. I have done too much standing lately. Maybe that's what my legs are saying, which I say is nonsense. Well, I have a lot of stuff. Cracked tracery token. Is that a gold tracery token? Either way, let's go. Well, I guess we gotta... Actually, I could put all this stuff in my shared storage. That might be easier than mailing it. I have 40 slots, so that should be plenty. Let's do chest. We'll name it chest Louis. I don't know. So we're gonna put, okay. Embers, I don't know if I want right now. I mean, I'd rather save embers for if I'm just short on something and really want it. So maybe we won't do that, but legendary coffer of the bat. And then ancient script and a tome. Okay, we don't want ancient script. That one's ancient script. This one's gold enhancement runes. We'll probably use those, because all the enhancement rune qualities will be useful with Umbar. That's one of the more exciting things as well. I definitely want anything teal. I want to try to get at least teal traceries if I can. I would really be pushing my warden up if I could get a full set of teal traceries that I actually want as the big thing. This one's going to be ancient script. Okay, don't need that. Teal enhancement runes is okay. I'm guessing that's what all these are, so we can start dragging them a little bit faster. Oh, Matham Hunter's armor. We could look at that. It's probably very bad, but you never know. Okay, then I have a bunch of purple traceries. I don't know how much I want to put the purple traceries in there, so I will do enhancement runes for now. I might have to come back and do the purple traceries, but we'll try not to. And then let's see what this says. Oh, tracery token legendary. Why not? And then I have more stuff on Louisen. Yeah, I'm probably not going to spend any of my embers, or maybe ancient script I could, but I'm not going to spend any of my embers until I see that there's actually a reason that I need better gear. Like, I like improving my characters, and I know I have had ember saved and you can buy ember gear right away, but I would rather wait to see if there's something better that I could get later on when they have more content that might necessitate it. I would also be interested in trying delvings. It appears there are no new missions to try delvings on, and like no new delvings, that means, but Would still be interested to see if they actually updated the rewards, which I know I've been very pessimistic about because I don't see them having done that, but it is possible. Yeah, there's a lot with LOTRO, but my general advice that may or may not apply to you is to take your time and not worry about much stuff in LOTRO. Like, there's a lot of valuable items and valuable things you can do, but most of it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm thinking with legendary items, like if you don't have a whole bunch of stuff saved up, going into the expansion like this, it really is no problem. Also, I think I meant to disenchant these. Oh no, I never logged into the... Oh, that's disenchantable for embers. Oh, I gotta disenchant that before they hotfix it. That is locked. I don't think that is locked. That is not locked. Oh, apparently I equipped that. Okay. Nice, I got embers from it. That one I can do to embers. Oh, that one's turned into moats. That one's turned into moats. That's moats. That's moats. That's moats. Most of it's moats, but they did forget a couple things, and I forgot to disenchant all that. Oh no. I can't believe that, because I knew this character had this stuff too. That's the bad part. But see, it also doesn't really matter that much, so I can't be too worried about it. Okay, anyway, we should have more LI boxes on this character, or did he just have traceries? Maybe he just had traceries. I thought he might have more LI box stuff. He has a bunch of virtue stuff, and I know my warden needs virtues now. But yeah, once there's a virtue booster bonus weekend, I might do that, but I thought I had more LI stuff on this character, to be honest. Let's see if this... That's a 140 essence box. All right, now this character, we can take a peek, oops, into the Umbar crafting tier for Tailor. This is not the character that I'm going to be doing tailoring on, because my Runekeeper actually has more recipes, so I'd like to keep it on him. But yeah, a bunch of essence slots. I really hope it's... Wait, why do these require red sea stones? Not again. I was hoping that's something they would change from the beta, because why would the starter level 141 yellow armor require the 3 of the rare crafting materials? That makes no sense, but here we are. At least I haven't run into one-time use recipes. Again, everything is positive as long as I don't run into those, but this one, like overall for the crafting revamp, but I just don't think the starter yellow armor should require these at all. A lot of people complained about that with Gundabad, and this was level 140 purple armor even. This was level cap purple armor. It wasn't that great, but people already complained about it with that, and now it's at the 141 yellow armor. A little bit crazy to me. So yeah, it looks like there could be better stuff, but on the whole, it's still much better, I think, than previous tiers. But that is disappointing to see that it requires the whatever still. So I guess I don't have anything LI related on this character. Well, maybe I will be mostly purple traceries on him. Okay, so that means I want to go back to my lore master. Oh, I could have stuff on my Runekeeper. I don't think I do, but I want to log into my Runekeeper anyway. We're bouncing all over the place today. But yeah, I don't think in all my prep that I actually logged much into my Runekeeper, this Runekeeper. So it is possible he probably also has stuff that could have been disenchanted into embers. I really did a bad job with the embers, but it's okay. It's not like I'm purchasing anything with them, and the motes can go to figments, which can go to cosmetics, which is the real end game in LOTRO or any MMO for that matter. Because all your gear, all the work to get gear with embers, it's just going to be replaced anyway. So it's like temporary improvements. Not really seeing anything on this character though. Oh, we have ancient script. All right. Actually, I'll send the travel to the archive. I don't think my warden has one of those, and he can make use of it right now. But I think we're going back. If my inventory is not too full, I should be able to open all the LI stuff on him, actually. Although then I'd just send it back. It's okay. We can do it. We'll go straight to my warden. Yeah, not sure about issues with the patch. I was working all fine for me. Maybe try to restart it. That might work, but yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully y'all can get it working with the patch and get logged in and get playing Umbar. Well, let's see. What did I want to do? Collect my mail. Yes, I have plenty of inventory spaces. I don't know what I was worried about with inventory spaces. Oh, maybe it was my other character. But yeah, I'll open everything on this character. And I will also, let's go ahead and just, I'm really curious what the tracery tokens. And even the gold. Wait, where are the gold ones? There they are. All right, let's start off with this for now and just see what we get. Tracery token. That is indeed an Umbari tracery. So we'll be able to get a gold tracery from the Archive of Traceries. And then the tracery token incomparable. That's another teal one. That's going to be Umbari, 141. So this does work as you would expect. And then this of the black bat should have a tracery token legendary. So we have 2 gold traceries coming up. And we got a black bat. Do I want that on this character? Or do I want it on another character? I just don't feel a black bat for this character. I think I want to save that for a different character. So I'm gonna put that right back. We'll put it up there. And then I'm also really curious. Well, let's get some enhancement runes. But I'm really curious what the Maith Hunter's armor here has. It is item level 487. Just about as good as you could expect, which is, for people that aren't aware, quite terrible. Actually, it's really terrible for 147, I should say. It is technically better, I think, than some of the pieces I have. I'm not 100% sold on it actually being better than my 471 thing here, just because of the itemization, but it's probably better. But yes, it's going to be better than much lower level armor, but it's still not good. It was a pretty big download. It was one of the slowest LOTRO patches I've had in a while. Might even have been taking longer than Gunabad. There's a lot of new stuff though. Level cap is 150. And yes, already 147, just a sliver away from 148. We'll just not talk about my methods to do that. Yeah, so probably won't do the Maitham Hunter's armor. Enhancement runes, we can open all this stuff. Get tier 15, that looks like the actual number. But you see the enhancement runes, it says enhancement rune +3, enhancement limit 549, so it does not have enhancement limits anymore. You can just go to the max of whatever the current max item level of your LI is, and there's no enhancement limit. What did we get? Way of the Spear? I guess. For deep, it's not terrible, but like this yellow gold enhancement rune, I mean, will give me 4 rank ups. So yeah, it's enhancement runes are nice. Now, it's gonna be I think a lot better than how it was with Gundabad. Now, if only they would actually raise the item level cap to 549 in a reasonable amount of time, then it will be much, much, much better than Gundabad. Because I think even at the end of the, like, up to Umbar, like right before the release of Umbar, you couldn't even go to 499. If I remember correctly, it was still 495, when I personally think, I thought before the Shadow would have been a good time to go to 499 actually, but they just raised it so slowly. Never actually used, well, I think I did end up using a couple of my gold enhancement runes that were level locked, but there was no reason to use them because you could only use them for like a couple months time or something like that and not waste them essentially. So with the enhancement rune change, that really helps avoiding that issue, and then if they progress them faster, that would be nice. I say that as somebody who is usually behind, but I still think if they progress them faster, that would overall be better. But yeah, I think reward track, we can claim all that stuff now. I don't remember if you used to be able to drag this horizontally before. Does anybody remember? I honestly just don't remember being able to do that. This is if you have an ultra wide monitor, you might be able to do all of 100 levels at once. I don't remember being able to do this before, so that really is nice to get the rewards. I also think I went 10 levels too high there. Nice. Did I get anything good from all that? I got incomparable Coffer of Craft, contains a Shattered Tracery token and a Word of Craft's selection box. Well, it was bound to happen. They did forget something. These are still Gundabad traceries. That means I should not have opened that. Well, I guess I'll get my teal tracery token, so maybe it will have been worth it, but long term, not really. That kind of sucks. Substantial cache of embers and figments. Okay, we'll wait on that. It's 1,000 each. I don't know how substantial that really is. Ancient script, okay, we don't want that. Enhancement runes, I do have to pay attention to everything here. Enhancement runes are good, we'll do enhancement runes, just not ancient scripts. Did I open the one that gave ancient scripts anyway? Maybe not. That's another ancient script. There's enhancement runes, tracery. I see a lot of bad traceries popping out of these boxes. They're very unreliable, but it's okay. Ooh. I like the tracery tokens because then you can select which one you want. The sealed traceries that don't give you tracery tokens, those are the ones that are RNG and often will give you bad ones because there's a limited number that you actually want and are good, usually. And then it can also give you duplicates and all that sort of stuff. But I think we are almost done with this set. There's a lot more I could do to OPify my Warden, but I might consider saving some of it for my Mariner, but I really think the Warden is the one that I, of course, want to make the most powerful off the go. Map. Yes, this is the Cape of Umbar map. Right click and we have a Harad map. Can't can't zoom anywhere here except for Gondor, and from Gondor you can't really go there. But on the big map, we can click Hrodwaith here. There's Umbar. There's the Shield Isles. There's Mordor. But here's Hrodwaith, and then Shield Isles. King's Gondor. So we've already had the stuff to the east here. I believe all Lower Lebanon and east. And the new is going to be Doran Elnor, Ringlow Vale, Belthalis, Lamedon, Blackroot Vale. So basically old Central Gondor and West Gondor. And then there's also Outer Gondor here. And Outer Gondor... Hold up. We got this. Outer Gondor includes Penath Gelen and Ampelus. I need water. I do have to be wary of the time, but I still have an hour. We're good. Oh, with the stat changes, you got 20k physical mastery boost, so you're actually over the cap by 10k. I suppose that's a nice side effect. But yeah, I haven't even looked at the stats. So for Warden, we get two physical mastery per might, 2 outgoing healing rating. That one's kind of interesting. 1.5 crit rating, 1 block rating, and 1.5 finesse. But agility gives us 3 physical mastery, 3 outgoing healing, 1 crit, 1 physical mitt, 1 tactical mitt, 2 block rating, 1 parry rating. Wow, they're really trying to make main stats useful. Vitality, you get morale. It looks like we're not quite 5 morale. I was really hoping they would fix the consistent, or make the amount of morale you get from vitality consistent. It really bothers me that not every class just gets 5 morale from vitality. But yeah, that one's pretty simple. That will gives me physical mastery. Must be like some very powerful will to make you stronger. Really dipping into your adrenaline, I suppose. But it also gives outgoing healing, physical mitigation, tactical mit. Actually, this one gives the most mitigation. So there's maybe a use for it. I think might was just straight up worse than agility. Wait, might gives more critical rating than agility? And it gives finesse. That's so weird. I know they did this so you can like have some flexibility with what stats you want, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of the stat revamp. And then Fate, yep, just max power and non-combat power regen, which is even less useful than it was before this update. And unless power issues, like that's something people run into, it's going to be a very, very bad stat. And not just bad in that it doesn't give you much, but if you have Fate on something, that means it's taking away from something else as well. So it's like actively bad for your character instead of just like being useless. It is actively bad. Assuming, again, that people don't actually want power. Alright, I think we can move a little. Is there anywhere on the landscape you all want me to explore? That was part of the reason of leveling this character up so fast, was so that I could just take a stroll through the landscape. But otherwise I would be ready to head either to the Archive of Tracers if you all want to see me boost my character up some more, or I need to switch to DPS spec and stop doing this, but I'm just wanting to try new things here. Check out the beach. That we can do. I also wouldn't mind gathering. I am getting hide, so I got Umbari hide. There's also Lion Slayer. Oh, those are monkeys? I did not see one single monkey in beta. They're just like environmental, so you can't click them and accidentally kill them. My Warden was squishier after the stat squish in my experience, but it wasn't... I didn't really do much testing with it, so it's very observation driven. There's a crocodile. Wow, the water looks so much better than it did in beta. That's actually really crazy. It looks great. It looks like the water we all know and love in LOTRO, that is like the, of all the graphics elements in LOTRO, water has usually been top notch, except in some weird locations, or some locations where it just does not look good. There's a crab. This isn't really a sandy beach, but it is up against the salt water nonetheless. That might be a better area to see sandy beaches or the shield isles, I imagine. I wouldn't mind just exploring the shield isles to see what they have. But before I forget, there we go. All right, I gotta kill like one of each thing, right? It's the rules. So what I wanted to, well, I didn't want that, but what I was kind of curious, oh yeah, he's dying real fast. I don't even need to worry about that. I was kind of curious if you could do a 2-tap combo. Not quite. Also, these things do a lot of damage. I am not geared for this. I also haven't even slotted any of those fancy new tracery things. Resisted? I guess I need finesse. Oh, he was doing some sort of induction. I could hardly see it. I did not mean to use Wallace the Wild, but that worked. Oh, I can't remove this. I'm too low level. I might have to use Never Surrender. Okay, we're good. Oh, and we haven't killed a crab yet. Well, instant bleed. That's about what we could expect based on the Gundabad crabs, the Ukrush. Let's see the deeds. I wonder if they're... Wait, Herodwaith? That's pretty neat. That fills us out nicely. But let's see... Does Herodwaith include Shield Isles, Cape of Umbar, and Umbar Barhabel? Okay. But I'm curious... Oh, you do get Virtue XP. It's not much, but you get some Virtue XP for the base layer. And I know my kid's not going to be happy with this. Everybody was excited in Eastern King's Gondor. You did not need that many kills to get these Slayer deeds, but this one's back to like... It's not ridiculously high, but it's a lot higher. It's 90. But yeah, I could work my way through deeds, but then I might as well quest if I do that. But that is something I could do to gather resources. Also, we have a tier 15 essence. It is 1,257 will. What you will do with all that will, I do not know, but you could do that. You could have that. I need to turn landscape difficulty on just in case I get any deeds completed though. I know I'm not the best prepared for that, but it is something I'd like to do. There are rocks blocking the way. Okay. I get that they block the way with stuff, but come on, my character could totally climb this little rock hill here. This isn't even pretending to be a real barrier. They're like, okay, we're gonna put a barrier here, but we're intentionally going to make it very obvious that your character could get through it. But we're going to put in a visible wall so you can't anyway. Anticipation of Umbar has kind of been medium level to me. I feel like I was actually a bit more excited about Gundabad. In a way, there's, I think, some reasons I was not as much, but I feel like there's been a lot of great potential with Umbar and the stuff that they have been announcing in teasers and all that. They've done a lot of great things, but there's just been very little marketing things, I feel like, for Umbar. Like, and very little details, like the crafting revamp. There are parts of the crafting revamp that have been announced, but are just randomly missing here. Including, well, the one thing that I'm really picking up on is the lack of, what was it? Oh yeah, you can't gather any tier node with a gathering profession. I know they were talking about splitting the Umbar stuff and not being able to do that anymore, but what I am talking about is a bit unrelated to that, and that they said that you'll be able to gather any tier node with a gathering profession, and the reason to rank up the gathering professions would be to process materials, but you cannot actually gather any tier of node right now with the gathering profession, so I have no idea what happened to that because they haven't really talked about that unless I've just missed it. But then, if I'm missing that, then that's also another issue, even if an unrelated issue. It's just a separate issue that's helped not make this as exciting as it seems like it should be. I think one of the reasons I'm also less excited than maybe I feel like I should be is because there's so much Gondor content. I just don't really care about it because I'm more interested in the Umbar content. This is the Corsairs of Umbar expansion where you can go to the Cape of Umbar, Shield Isles, you could be in Harad. Yet they added so much in Gondor, but I don't care about it because I'm way more interested in the Harad stuff. Okay, the map navigation is not great, but you have all this stuff in King's Gondor. Everything west of Lower Lebanon is new in this expansion, but it's just like, it's Gondor. We've already been there. Even Outer Gondor. We haven't been there, but it's still Gondor. Yet the expansion is called Corsairs of Umbar. We're going to Umbar. I don't want to be in Gondor. I want to go to Umbar. But then there's a lot less in Umbar. So that's another thing I've just been, I guess, less excited about that because a lot of the land, at least, a lot of the landscape and a lot of the content is in Gondor. And there seems to be quite a bit in Umbar and in the Shield Isles. That one's pretty new. I think that's interesting. I'm hoping we can go there later today, but that's just something that hasn't helped the excitement, really. Hey, I leveled up. Alright, I want to see maybe... Ooh, that's a pretty nice mountain. I don't know why I just noticed that mountain range there, but... I kind of want to see if we can just keep going northwest. What happens? What we run into, maybe. Expansion set in the first age. That would be different. I don't know. Do we have Mordor Besieged? Was that in the second age? Or is that just early in the third age? And I think As Animals Are, wasn't that in the third age as well? I'm not entirely sure. That's a lot of repeated texture. Like in a very confined area. It looks a bit odd. I like the texture, but this pattern being repeated is kind of distracting, I would say. This looks kind of like the sand we have in Evendom. Oh, there's the Colosseum, by the way. I actually wanted to check the Colosseum out, but unfortunately I don't think it will work for what I wanted to check it out. But yes, I'm getting distracted and we're going to the Colosseum because I could never find that in the beta. It was the weirdest thing, but if y'all remember the beta streams, I never did actually try to physically go, well, that's a bit odd, physically go into the Colosseum. So I'm keeping my eyes on it, and while I have it on my mind, we'll try to go in. Presumably you could climb these rocks, but probably not. Okay, there should be an entrance somewhere over here. Colosseum, right there. It's not going to disappear. And just because we can't see it doesn't mean it doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, this is very neat for the landscape. Okay, this is a little bit farther out, but there's Colosseum. It's right there. I think also with me being less excited about Umbar, that's why it took so long for me to actually make the videos related to the expansion. I think I made more, maybe, leading up to Gundabad. I know I didn't do an expansion prep video before. It's something I think I meant to do with Gundabad and even before the Shadow, but it's just, parts of it are just super annoying to me. So I just didn't make videos on it before, but I finally did get myself to make one with Umbar. And then also I did a what to expect video before the expansion launch, which seemed to work out well. It wasn't a complete repeat of the patch notes review video that I do. I did try to intentionally have those be different focus, but it kind of worked well, I think. But yeah, other than that, I haven't had much. I didn't even play through Gondor Renewed because I just wasn't that interested in it, to be honest, overall. It also doesn't help that I have enjoyed Return to Moria. Okay, I don't see a way in. That is unfortunate. I really assume that's going to be a very big thing in the future. Big leafy vines. Not another you must not be spotted thing. That's those type of quests are supposed to stay in the Shire where they belong. This is very blue water. A little bit of green. I like the color though. Just the strong color, it looks nice. Yeah, FPS is in the 20s again if anybody is curious. Are these on this new expansion markers? Are there on this new expansion markers to follow the quests? There's the normal quest guide. Throw out a fishing pole. I might have a fishing pole. If I have one in my inventory, I will. I don't see one. Okay, I might have one in my vault. There's a... I thought I had a fancy one. I don't know where my fancy one went, but... Alright, we can try fishing for you all. I do not have the... Oh, I have to equip it. Silly game. You want me to actually equip the thing I'm gonna use? Alright, let's see Pro Fisher Louie. See what he can fish up here. Oh, there's a fish. Wait, the fish just died? Why did it come up to the surface and die? Wait, there it is again. Oh, that one latched on. Alright, looks like we got Umbar coins. Nope, we got a... That did not look like a rusty axe. Although that looks like a tool a mariner would like. So low FPS here. Maybe it looks smoother in the video, but it is not that smooth. But I think... Oh yeah, can't do Colosseum. I was headed to the northwest. I'm thinking we could go to Archive of Traceries. How do I want to do this? Where's my map home? It is somehow Arnak. I thought I changed it. Am I crazy or did I not change my milestone? To... Oh, maybe I was going to and then I said, oh, I'll do Umbar Barhavel. But I never did that. And it's something I could have just changed anyway, just in case I forgot. But maybe we'll go to that southwest one. Alright, we can deal with him. He's the one that asked for that, so... Yeah, we got a sea stone though. I really hope the teal things, like the red sea stones, the rare ingredients, are super common if they're required for the yellow recipes. Because if they are super common, like basically just as common as the regular crafting resources, then maybe it won't be too bad. I don't expect that to be the case because that'd be kind of silly, but... I will just say I haven't seen how many red sea stones you get from gathering and crafting, so it is possible that they made them super easy to get. I don't think that's likely, but I'm just trying to be positive about it. Also, where's Jajax? I have not seen him. We did kill some crocodiles earlier. That's a neat milestone. Okay, with that, I'd be ready to go here again. Yeah, maybe I'll see if I can get one closer to a dockmaster somewhere. But I feel like traveling is going to be a thing in this no matter what. There's not like a dockmaster, stable master, and all the reputation vendors and all that sort of stuff all in one spot. It seems like there's always going to be some form of traveling to get wherever you want in Umbar. There's a far-ranging Harbor. So I was thinking the Shield Isles, we could explore that a little bit. So this is Halrax, which is in the Big Island. I'm just really curious what it looks like if we actually go out. In the beta, that is one thing I never did, was just explore outside of the city. The little cities. I mainly wanted to go to Umbar. But if we just leave... I'm really curious what we can do to get into the... what I imagine to be a little bit jungle-y area. Oh, Hillbeast, that makes sense. Yeah, Hillbeast, Sabertooths, and what was the other thing I was thinking would be here? Oh, there is something else. Boars. I imagine there are boars. That seems fitting for this type of location to me. Aha, here we go. Don't mind me flying a little bit. It's actually not really that dense with mobs. Some sand beetles. I like that the ground texture, this is actually kind of what I would expect for a location like this, so I'm glad it's not just full of grass. And there is some clutter, but it's not full of a ton of clutter. I'll really have to see what this type of area brings with questing, though. We obviously haven't done that. The first quest is... what's his name? Garlandor? Is that his name? Something like that. In Midsummer Minas Tirith. Close to the Stable Master. The environment does look good. You also get some nice sights from over here. Can look over the tiny island, watch the waves come in. See a half-missing tree randomly disappear. Alright, I'm gonna give this guy one more try. Okay, that time it worked better. Oh, okay. That was almost very bad. There's the rest of the island. We can try to climb the mountain peak. I'm really wondering what that little crater is. That's really what I want to explore up here. Ooh, palm branches. I like me those. Especially since it does seem like you'll want quite a bit of gathering materials to craft stuff, which makes sense. Except for the Red Sea Stone, that part does not make much sense, but... yeah, I'm also still really curious with like level cap if there will be resource instances or some other public instances. It's also possible those will have prereqs with questing. So there could be more content behind that I just won't get to for a while. The mob difficulty here is really easy. Is also my first impressions with that for anybody curious. I am not on landscape difficulty, but I still have my level 140 gear, which it wasn't bad, but it wasn't the best. And I know I'm playing Warden and all that, but it's still relatively smooth here. But I think the crater is here, and it's filled, yep, with water. Well, oh, they're elf ruins? What? I did not expect elf ruins. kind of interesting. Also, no boars. I expected some boars up here. I don't know what's attacking me, but something... Sabertooth, maybe? Ah, Isle Stalker. There are salamanders. So there are a couple things to remind me of Evandem. Also, what's that giant thing? Oh, it's an eagle. I guess we'll have to discover what this is about in questing, if I had to guess. I still don't know what I'm in combat with now. But there's Rogdagoon, and there's Burka. So, more on them later. Ooh, this looks like an eagle nest, actually. Okay, maybe this is the eagle's home in these elf ruins. But, you all know what we have to do. There's actually a ramp to get back up if you fall in. I almost feel like this pit should just be, if you fall, you fall. As somebody who falls a lot, I even think that, but... Here we go. Well, I made it into the water. And where do we wake up? In Halrax, pretty much. I'm also kind of curious what's going on in the middle there. Is that like a friendly camp, maybe? Because I see Milestone and the such. Oh, that also reminds me, just while I'm thinking about it, the other thing that's really... I seem to be missing, it has to do with the Umbar guild crafting, which I've seen nothing related to that, and I have checked out all the crafting stuff that I have come across. You're 6 updates behind and have no motivation to catch up. Well, eventually you'll get here. 6 updates behind isn't that far. Unless you mean like 6 level caps behind, then that is kind of a bit far, but... More screenshots. Yeah, hopefully the experience with making a... not quite a level cap character, but doing some faster leveling so I could focus on this exploration and actually be fairly safe. Hopefully that has been positive for you all. I am definitely feeling the payoff of leveling this character, even though I didn't get to the cap, and I was excited to try to see what there is for cap level stuff, especially in regards to really crafting and resource instances, that type of stuff, guild crafting. I was kind of hoping I'd run into some of that stuff if I got to the level cap, and maybe even if I didn't, but I have not. I still think it's been pretty informative and different, but I think enjoyable for me overall. I'm really curious what this quest is here. Like, I know I've done 0 quests on this character. Ah, it's a worried... Oh, where... This is the city. Okay. But I think I could start preparing my Mariner by getting him gathering professions, because it appears that that part of the crafting revamp is randomly not here. Don't know what happened to it, but because I do need to get the gathering professions actually ranked up to Umbar tier, unlike I initially thought based on the announcements of the crafting revamp, I could do that, or I could boost this character's ally some more. There's another... Oh, that's a... I thought that was a monkey again. I was like, wait, I can target it, but it's a toad. Can you believe this expansion? They just reskinned the Ukrosh from Gundabad, and now they reskinned the toads from Gundabad, as we're basically in Gundabad again. Just tusk. Also, those look tasty, whatever they are. I don't know that they're supposed to look tasty, but they look tasty. That water does look really nice. Like, this is some nice water. Yeah, I guess for navigating here, I mean, if you're a mariner, you can probably pull your little boat out and have your water mount, but for all the other classes, we're stuck either swimming or just bouncing the aisles. But just to be clear, that is not a thing mariners can do, even though it seems like it's a thing that mariners should be able to do. It's just have a boat mount. Sorry for tricking everybody, but that really seems like it's something that would be nice here, is all. And that seems really fitting for Mariner. Let's break through the crab's armor. There we go. I mean, it's just like your steed, but on water, is how I'd imagine it. And it just seems like it'd be perfect for this area to just sail. That's a neat little village. Once again, that little village right there, whatever it is, that seems like an area I would be willing to purchase a house. Unless I found issues with it. Like with the Lindleby, I actually really like the outside again, but not the insides quite as much. LOTRO store for 400 mythical coins. That seems a little bit cheap, to be honest. I would expect 10,000 mythical coins at least for that fancy of a feature. Oh, wait, what? What's this guy doing? Drowned? Brine drinker. Interesting. Water mounted combat, yep. That'd basically be naval combat. Ah, these are... Wait, are these supposed to be like... sea? What's that called? I was thinking fallen leaves at first, but I can't think of... I cannot think of the word seaweed. Like some yellow seaweed. Yes, nice water. That's why I just want to stay here. Dang, these Corsairs have such nice houses. Look at their cute little docks, too. I kind of want to join the Corsairs after that. I don't necessarily agree with all their styles, but I really like their houses and docks. Those are amazing. This is definitely different for LOTRO, so I can see why you would feel that it's not like LOTRO. Neat to see whites here as well. I wonder if they're from the shipwrecks here. I believe the story-wise is it relates to Aragorn's conquest towards... I don't know if it's reclaiming Harad, but there's something about him going to Harad and the such and Umbar and all that. So I think it relates to that, but it's just something left open after the War of the Ring. Somebody can probably fill in more details than I can, that I'm immediately picking up on here. But I think I'll go ahead and head to the Tracery Archive because I am running out of time and I would like to, with you all here, do a little bit more LI stuff. What am I looking for? Okay, there we go. So I probably won't be able to get the best traceries for this character, but I have a couple gold ones I can get, and I have a few teal ones I can get. So I'm probably going to get all clash traceries. Yeah, Corsair housing would be nice, but I'm probably going to get all clash traceries here. I wonder if everybody here is at least 141. Well, nope. Few people are 142, 143, 142, 141, 146, 96. It's nice to see people lower level. It's just a little bit of a shock to the system. Let's see, did they remember to add Umbar? They did. Okay, good. I probably don't want any of these besides, like, the bare minimum there. I don't know if we get crafted heraldries later. I won't want to waste my gold token on a gold heraldry, but they are really nice in terms of stats, but that is, I don't think I'll go with that. Word of Power, I just don't quite think there's anything really good enough at this point, but damage over time would be the one consideration just because that is so generic and fits with the Warden so well. And if I do more tanking, I could do the morale multiplier. That's always a fun one. But I think I'll go with just Warden Traceries to start. Now it is... I do have to decide, what do I primarily want to do on my Warden and Umbar? I kind of like the funky hybrid build that I have. I'm not the best at DPS, not the best at tanking, but it works really well for solo content. And it also works for any of the group content I have run. I tend to lean towards tanking though when I have run group content. This is post-Warden revamp. But there are a couple particular traceries that are useful no matter what. And number one is Warden Mastery cooldown. So that will be our first gold tracery there. And then marked and diminished target potency. That's such a boring one, but it is a good one. Wave the Spear bonuses, I got the teal version of that. So that would save me a teal thing if I just use that one. And then what else is there? Bush run speed bonus. Okay, nope. Yeah, I really could consider marked and diminished target potency, but that's such a boring one. I'll see if I can find something better. I don't immediately remember every single Warden tracery. Yeah, these look pretty good for damage overall, but I don't see anything that's very universal. For defense, Shield Gambit line healing, that's a pretty solid one. It's like an extra 5% edge points though. Restorative Shield works, Shield Gambit buff duration, that's only 1 more second. About 10% better. Same with that one. Defiant Challenge damage return is an interesting one. It looks like most of these are 10% better, but then some of them actually do scale a little bit higher. Like a lot of these have been 10%, but I think in the utility, one of the ones we could get was more than 10% better, if we're interested in that. I love these useless javelin ones here. I don't think those affect the ranged gambits. I don't think they ever changed that. Otherwise, they wouldn't necessarily be useless. But oh, this is 10%. It's 2.2. I read it as 2.5. Yeah, because I have the teal way of the spear, I feel like this would be most efficient. Or I could go with something like damage over time for the morale. Requires too much thinking, especially without having familiarized myself too much with the exact best ones with the Warden. So I could hold off on that and save that for another day. Like, I remember, of course, the useful traceries and less useful, but which is best to prioritize for gold? That's something that I haven't had to think about. So I just haven't familiarized myself too much with it. I don't think 0.5% of morale is going to make that much of a difference. And same with damage over time. I could probably get something more efficient over here. So I will go with a Warden Tracery. I just want to double check, is there anything really good with damage here? Ooh, the Fist Gambit damage and crit chance. That's a double dipper. Yeah, so I think if I'm thinking about playing a tank Warden, as well. Something that's just universally useful. It's not that good for solo. That's why I want to pick this. Well, depends what you're doing solo, but for most stuff, it just wouldn't get the most benefit out of that. Could do steadfast cooldown as well, but that's another not exciting one to get 1.5 seconds on that. So I think I'll go marked and diminished target. I'm not very happy about that, but there is only one like very standout, easily the best Warden Tracery all around, which is Mastery cooldown. I think after that it goes, usefulness goes down quite a bit. But I think I will start with that. Now, I do also want to consider if I want to try to build, for example, my spear to, well, I have another spear. If I want my javelin maybe to be a universal ally, so I should put something that is good for any of the specs in the javelin. So I will do, I'm going to mess these up, but that's okay. We can do shield tactics, immunity duration. This is really gonna mess us up. We're gonna have to finish these before I can play this character again, essentially. But there we go, Mastery cooldown and marked and diminished target. Oh, never surrender? Why didn't I see never surrender? That wouldn't have been a terrible one to get teal actually. Or to get gold. I'm fine with what I pick though. We're all good. Shield Gambit buff duration, we can do that as well. Looks like Heraldry of the Owl. I'm probably going to use this stuff and just slot what I have and then replace it if I don't end up needing it. Battering Strikes, that's one that's more universal. I would say better than Restorative Shield work. But I'm probably just going to keep one of 2 allies total. I just thought I'd try, just in case, try to do it a little bit more of a universal build just in case for later. Yeah, single target healing. What else would we want on a Warden? Goodbye damage over time. Wow. No, I'm probably, I shouldn't even know that because I'll barter those. Happy release day, Guardian 7. Okay, most of these I'm going to replace, but I just want to get it out of my way. Ooh, Defiant Challenge damage return. That's a good one. That's more tank oriented, but I'll go ahead and put it here anyway. So we have for 515, how about Recklessness? And then I still need Way of the Spear, that one. So let's put that here. And I think all my class traceries are now 500 to 515 on this, but I have a lot more purple traceries to open, so I don't want to do that yet. And I'm really tired of dealing with allies because they're kind of annoying and they take forever to deal with. So that is something I will save for later. It's really making me bored of LOTRO right now, and I should not be bored when there's a shiny new expansion to play, but that's the reality of the LI system, unfortunately. But I think we can maybe start this is going to be a pretty huge task, but preparing my Mariner crafting-wise to be able to gather all the stuff in Umbar. That's going to be so much work. But it's something I gotta do. I don't have to, but it's something I want to do. And maybe LOTRO will start responding soon. I have a Mariner. That's the character I'm going to take through the questing for Umbar. I don't know if he's quite a pirate yet. I would think that a pirate would have his own ship, and my Mariner does not have his own ship. Also, this is very much so not working. It's taking forever. I did so much on my Warden, the servers must be catching up to all the progress I made. Umbar environment does look good. I agree. I guess I can go back to desktop until this decides to work. It's probably quicker if I just close it and come back, so let's try that. I really think all the leveling I did on my warden just broke it. Actually, no, I already relogged from before that. And we should be back. I have about 15 minutes, and then I have to leave. It's a pretty sharp deadline, so I'm gonna try to play until the full deadline. At least get the process started for getting my Mariner crafting. So maybe I can do some of that on the background if I have some of the materials before my next stream. But I am going to have to leave soon. But I think if I will start crafting all and then bounce around a little bit and see what all I can send to him. It's gonna be a lot of work though, especially for Scholar. That one, just buy. I'm probably gonna spend all my gold on this because I imagine people would be price gouging. I know I've promoted that. It should be. This is your chance to make a bunch of gold from people being like me and wanting to, wrong character, wanting to buy a bunch of crafting materials. Especially considering that the gathering thing that I've repeated so many times in this, but because that part of the revamp isn't here, and if you expected it to be here, like I kind of had hoped that it would be here, it's something that like now all of a sudden if you want to gather, depending on your progress, if you're starting with a fresh character like my Mariner, you have to go through all the crafting tiers, which is a lot of materials and a pretty big chance for people that aren't up to that point to make hundreds of thousands of gold. Mariner was in the pre-patch was like 37.2 or something out a month-ish or so ago. Something like that, I don't remember. But it has already been out. Now for crafting. Oh boy. Okay, we're sending it all to Luiner. And we're going to send everything that is a processable material, if it can be processed, and give him crafting XP. I'm gonna send it to him. Wow, this is something. I'm probably gonna get him a crafting curial or two. I think I have all those on my warden though. And this is just for Forester. And I don't think I'll have enough. Again, if it's processable, it's getting sent to him for now. I can always send stuff back that I don't need or send it to the proper crafting alt now that I'll probably actually do crafting. That does mean I think a lot more of my stream time will be dedicated to crafting. Hopefully that's an exciting thing for people, but because crafting is exciting, at least at the moment from what I've seen, it is something I want to do, which means I need to revamp all my characters. These are already processed. Which does mean I'll be spending a lot of time at the mailbox, going through my Middle-earth email. I think with Pristine, or is it Exceptional? Maybe Exceptional is when you can start doing the fancier ones. So crafting is... So one of the big things is that the vocations are removed. So when you pick your crafting for your character, you can just choose which professions you want now. It can be used or turned. Okay, it can be turned into a candle. So I think that's a really nice thing to look forward to, but there are some things that were announced for the crafting revamp that are not here, and one of the big ones that I was just going on about is that they announced that you'd be able to gather any tier of materials as a gathering profession. So like an apprentice forester could gather umbar logs, for example, but that is not in the game right now. Don't know what happened to that, because there's been, that I've seen at least, no announcements or communication regarding that. So I just don't know about that. So that's why I have to do all this preparing on my Mariner, because that was not here. So this is increased craft XP, but I don't think that works for gathering professions. Nope. I'll probably want Umbar tier with that. So yeah, my Mariners, he's going to be full gathering, forester, prospector, and scholar, but that means I have to rank up all 3 of those through Gundabad, and I'd love to do them crit. Like, I'd love to give him the mastery for each tier. It's gonna be a lot of work. A lot of work. And a lot of materials. And it's gonna take a long time to organize all that stuff, but I'm just kind of curious. What's the price of something like, I don't know, Yearlinga's Scorn? That's okay. That's actually not too bad if it's those prices are reasonable. The Yearlinga's hides are not. That is way expensive, but these guys have some reasonable prices for the Scorn. Some of them, at least. Okay, I think, well, there might be more stuff in here. Okay, it's actually not too bad. This is just like crates of stuff, which I believe can now include through Umbar tier. So that's pretty neat. The delving materials are also through Umbar tier. I'm already getting tired of this. Yes, so for the crafting toolkits, it seems like when they start adding more of the crafting events, so like we have the Forester event, when they start adding more of that, I think you'll be able to participate in those events to combine your tools. So you can just combine ones for different professions and almost make your own universal toolkit, so to speak. But right now it is whatever it is. I can't think right now. I think really what I need to do is log into every single character that has been out for an adventure and just funnel any materials that they have gotten to my Mariner. Any of the gathering, again, any processable materials. That is what I need to do. And it's going to take time, so I don't know if we need to do that on stream, but this is basically the process. Every single character, like this one randomly has Scholar stuff, Forester stuff, ores. So it's something I'll need to do. Ooh, universal crit things. We'll just send the... Oh no, I sent to Louis. Or put Louis in. It's possible that I've done that on other characters and we'll have random stuff. We'll probably be making medium high, so I'll just do that to stay organized. But I have, what, 22 characters on the server, so probably repeat this for, like, maybe not all of them, but maybe, like, 15 more? Magic the Gathering launched Ixalan? Is that what that's called? I don't think Blue Rock has stuff. He should be organized. Is it MTG Magic the Gathering also Daybreak Games? Or am I thinking just MTG? Oh, like an online game for it. I love when I get just some random person follow me on Twitch when I'm never on Twitch. This character has wax. I don't know, Lunar will need that. Might as well put on somebody that can make use out of it, but otherwise he is actually pretty clean. It looks like I sorted his inventory at some point. Oh, both are pirate themed. Interesting. There's a character I'm not allowed to log into. Maybe, if it exists. I think, yeah, most of these characters I actually did organize at some point recently over summer, so most of them will probably be like this, where I just log in, log out, but this is the process. I think Louis Lost, he might have some stuff, actually. I'm a little bit more hopeful. I need a snack. I got 5 minutes on my timer. I'm just gonna keep doing this because we're preparing our mariner. This will help us when we come back. The more I do now, the less I have to do later. The faster we can get to Umbar. Get to questing in Umbar. Well, get to questing in Gondor so we can quest in Umbar. Hopefully the Gondor quests are good. I want to go to Umbar. But maybe I got enough Umbar out of my system from the Warden explorations. I don't think Louis-den has anything. He shouldn't. Now, Louis-7, he might have a lot of stuff for this character. In fact, he might have so much, I might just send his... Wait, Louis-7? He probably doesn't have anything. I think I already cleaned this character out, actually. I think that was in one of the prep streams. Yes, Life with Louis and the loading screen. So with the inventory, there is a cogwheel thing that you can use to drag inventory slots into one giant bag. It's at the top left here. So you can like drag from all your bags to one bag if you'd like. You can also split it up if you don't want it all in one bag or whatever. But yes, this character, wonderful, cleaned out. Except, is he?
Greetings, friend.
Random gear I could have disenchanted for embers. Well, maybe not. Never mind. Oh, some of that stuff might have been disenchantable for embers. Or maybe that was already moats. Anyway, nothing in his vault. I was a bit worried. Can't believe it's going so fast. Like, it feels like I've been switching characters for like 10 minutes, and we've only hit 2 out of the 5 minutes remaining. Louis-1 shouldn't have anything. Lucy-1 probably has something. Alright, this is going to be one of the busier characters. Probably. There's a chance it won't be, but it's probably one of the busier ones. This is also a character that I want to make jeweler, weaponsmith, and armorsmith. Or metalsmith, whatever it's called. So this is going to be one of my crafting characters. So we're gonna abandon Prospector and Tailor. Probably won't abandon Prospector right away, but it's just something that's more long-term, I guess, that I'll eventually do maybe. Now, as far as materials go on this character, I do see some random Doomfold stuff because I have actually quested in Mordor. So that should actually serve me well here. So this will all go to the character in training. And then I have crafting carryalls and things like Skarn. So if I take out the... Actually, I could just send this whole thing. This one, I could also send the whole thing. This one, I could also send the whole thing. So yes, I'll send all 3 of these carryalls. And then I can just send them back. I can like fill them with ingots and send them back. So he'll get three small carryalls to go with the materials. So this character is out of service with crafting. That's the result of this. I got 1 minute. We'll do one more character. I'll do my warden and then my other different warden. That's different than the other ones that I've logged into today. This is my original Landreval warden. But yeah, as thinking a little bit about first impressions of Umbar, I think a lot of the landscape stuff looks great, but for Umbar Barhabel, the city, it is very laggy, very low FPS. Be ready for that. Otherwise, it is pretty neat to walk around. There seems to be a lot of stuff that seems like it should either be opened up when I get to the level cap or based on actually playing through the content. Seems like there's a lot more stuff that will probably be discovering later. Oh, wow. Oh, these are bound to this character. I'm like, tracery tokens, incomparable. They're not level locked. I have way less crafting stuff than I thought I would have on this character, just being in this area, but there we go. And yeah, I'm really excited to quest through the rest of Gondor and Umbar, and I think that will hopefully reveal some of this stuff, and just getting to the level cap on the warden, like properly to the cap. Otherwise, I'd say if I had to think disappointments, I would say the lack of missions. I know not everybody likes missions, but it's really weird that there aren't any. So I don't know what to expect with those. And then we do know that there are no dungeons and raids until later. So that's something that's coming later. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how today went, the very experimental way of doing the launch of the expansion, but hopefully you all enjoyed it. I didn't quite get to 150 on my warden again, but that was part of the experiment as well. There's just a lot going on, but yeah, I gotta get going and wrap up the stream, so I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and thanks for joining, chatting, and watching, everyone.